Well, I've done what I can do, but let me just make sure I'm working with the correct things, because I tried to record a Harbinger Horror, and that didn't work out. But we do have some events, and I just want to, just explore this one more time, and then after this, I did have something else planned, but as I said in the previous stream, yeah, it turned out not being as I thought. So, let's just get into it. If anything breaks, I literally pulled everything that I got off of Workshop, so we can work from there. But otherwise, a lot of the stream is going to be regardless as we get into After World of Hera character exclusive custom character. It is a matter of game development stuff, because boy, again, I'm not gonna replace World of Hora content with it, but I am going to put out more than a few videos is the hope, but we'll see, because I'll explain more in a moment. I said I was going to talk about something, I completely forgot if I mentioned something exactly, but we're going to be talking about game development. Second strength, dexterity, charisma, and maybe Takushi-san. And yeah, as it pertains to RPG Maker development, because I have worked on a few projects over the years, they're not very big, they're very small relative to, most games, but I do feel somewhat strongly, as I forgot my stat spread for a moment, about what I can and can't do. Also, there's some pixel things here and there that I forgotten for my characters, so I might need to go and do that. Well, they're characters that aren't released yet, but it's a reminder when I look at this character that I need to do the same, because I've made some how should I say, quarter pixel errors, and I completely forgot, even though I've seen more than a few examples and been reminded of that over and over. But again, I usually figure that out on my own, because it's very obvious. Your character is either transparent or you have a big green screen, so it's very apparent. But as we have painting, nails, Akamanto, botanist, scissors, I'll try to focus a little bit, but this is more a chill stream anyway. But 4 strength, 7 dexterity, 7 perception, 7 knowledge, and 9 charisma. I don't care how much luck we have, so 7 perception means I'm probably, maybe it was muscle memory that I set illegal then, because I'm going to grab the army knife. You do need a little bit more perception, but we have 51 funds, so I'm shrugging in real life. That's the action I'm taking. So we're probably going to do nails, Akamanto, scissors, and then maybe painting into botanist. So, if nothing else, having this much funds on top of just enabling vending machine for me, which is going to be a big part of this, playing this character for me, is also going to avoid a lot of Doom issues unless I have to reroll 89 times. But if I don't, then I just enter the vending machine, and that's pretty much, I think this is likely better than, and when I say likely, I mean like 95% sure. I feel 95% sure that doing this is probably the best opener, along with, visiting shops for maybe Tainted Violin, but I like Police Station Vending Machine. You get the point. You get to do anything you want for 15-20% Doom, because you have the funds to do so. I probably wouldn't even, I probably shouldn't even enable History Club if I were playing a character that starts with funds, but when you start with this many funds, yeah. Police Station Forest. What is my other maxed out level? Mansion. And I have Nails, Akamanto. Okay, yeah. Nails, Akamanto. I'm going to immediately set the police patrols to downtown. We'll wait for the handcuffs. We're not Haru, so we don't need to smoke cigarettes immediately. That being said, if we just observe the elders, observe from afar, we get less experience. But as the same thing with negative events, you do need some positive events. You can have less positive events guaranteed than negative events guaranteed. But when you give me a way out, usually I'll take it, unless I'm feeling a bit spry. I didn't even remember that was a perception check until the thing happened. But as we get our face assets replaced due to low reason, we will finally smoke our first 2 packs of cigarettes. 4 should last you the whole run, unless a freak accident happens, and by that I mean Vigil Bulletin botanist footage. So that sounds like some secret old god code I'm saying. I swear it's not. But yeah, nothing else. Yeah, nicotine rush on top of choose your weapon, as long as it's not slow, like 90 speed plus slow, should be pretty good. 85 is pushing it a bit, but if your stats are high, like this character has high perception for the army knife, then you shouldn't really have a problem. It's the strength that I'm probably going to have the most issues with. And this character doesn't need to worry about ZST or Zektast as much anyway, so... Again, starting with funds, it's not a weapon, but it's a good replacement. That being said, on Fatalist you might suffer, because if you see 2 out-of-town mysteries, old gods forbid you don't know any of the mystery icons, then you are kind of just gambling, and so that's where the funds are less helpful. It's important to note because this character starts off with funds, and therefore it hurts them more when you don't have a shop available, for whatever reason. But as we fight this Kabuki killer here, I think we can just face tank this damage. We might even be able to do a prep strong. We can, with 7 perception and nicotine rush, normal item stats. I could throw the brick, but since I know I do prep strong, no reason to. Most bosses, most base World of Horror bosses don't have 28 or more HP at base, so I don't really need to worry as much. But I'm still going to heal HP when presented. I feel that's normal. So into Akamon's we go. I don't even know this character's perk pack, so we're gonna find out. Unless a crash happens, but while we have the ability to do so, being able to one-shot most encounters or some encounters, but even that's a lot, is pretty good. So yeah, as for game development though, I did kind of swerve because there were a few videos and streams that I listened to and watched, but listened to mostly, where I was kind of, not inspired, but I was able to mull around the topic of basically whether or not, to use GameJolt, to use itch.io, to use Steam, to consider advertising and whatnot. And I mean, the short answer as someone who has some experience with that is do what you feel is comfortable. If you have the resources and or the confidence, feel free to do so, but it really depends on your situation. I would never say to do something guaranteed, especially as it pertains to if it's your job, career, your dream to do something. I would never give you specific, hey, here's what you do, this, and this. I will say it as part of advice, but I will never directly order anyone to do it. And if I do, I've forgotten this piece of information, but saying it right now, it sounds a lot, not safer, it is a bit safe, but I think it's more reasonable to say things along the line of, I wouldn't give specific advice, but if you're feeling comfortable on itch.io, or if you're a one-man indie dev, certainly find a free site. I keep saying itch.io because that's what I use, but there are a few other locations that, have a good reputation, so it makes sense to therefore, if you're putting a game, whether it's commercial or not, but usually I would highly recommend you start with something very, very small, very small, and prototype it. That might sound weird for World of Horror, but I'll give you an example parallel to something I've done before. Basically, make, multi-room games where you literally only have tops 10 maps, 20 if you're really pushing it, depending on how you want your genre of game to go. Again, it depends. If you're trying to do a fantasy RPG, you can certainly decrease the scope. Definitely make your game free in that instance, unless you feel, again, super, super confident. I wouldn't really cough at something that costs like $1 or $2 if it's something that small, but definitely not more than that. And even if it were a bigger game, unless, again, you have not the resources, but the work put in and the confidence, I would not advise you make your game any more than even $3, really. $3 is pushing it, and we know that we've observed that over the years because of Vampire Survivors. And I know that's not an RPG Maker game, but you do need to have some, how should I say, idea of the market, I guess, to kind of understand, in my opinion anyway. Again, these things are my opinion, but I feel they hold some weight because, again, I've tried to, without saying too much, I've tried to do certain things before, and I know I've seen things work, and I've seen a lot of things fail. So, yeah, clap for Battle times, by the way. Also, you'll notice I'm cruising with this character, I'm autopiloting. It's because we have Nicotine Rush for the entire run, and we have a good weapon. So, not really much to say when I'm that prepared. But yeah, if I'm to keep talking about game development here, really, I'm just stomping through the run. There's not... If you're just listening to me and you want play-by-play, I'm literally stomping on everything. Until I need to focus, like the scissor lady here. I guess well, no, that's right, we're on timeline B. So clap... Oh, I'm sorry. Clap for bows. I did bow for claps. But yeah, if you're starting small, start small. I would highly recommend you put out something for free first, because at the bare minimum, you want that experience. Am I really gonna get... I was about to say, clap, bow, clap, clap, bow. But I got 2 wrong out of 3. But you want something completed to some extent. Even if it's something that's in early access, quote-unquote, or early access or beta, and you end up dropping the game, which I've done more than a few times. Automatically pass all luck checks. How much luck does this character have? Anyway. Yeah, even if you end up dropping the game, at least you have completed something and done. I don't mean deploy something and test. I mean deploy something and have other people do it. And if that's the case, then I highly recommend you start making incremental steps to make a complete game. So that's the bare minimum I would expect for anyone, at least with RPG Maker specifically, making a game with RPG Maker. You have a right to make a game, as due to the game RPG Maker's licensing and terms. But whether or not your game is good or deserves that spot, ethically or to the people, or whether or not your game is going to be good is a completely different story. Hey there, by the way, talking about game dev stuff as I auto-cruise, because this character starts off with 50 funds, so that's your short catch-up in case... that's my best way to catch you up to what this character is doing. I still also have the Crestfallen Mask, and I'm on my 4th mystery with 41% Doom. It really, really helps to have a good start. It allows you to play more adaptively. But, yeah. I mentioned, yeah, so I mentioned something about swerving in my last community post. If anyone watching now or in the future is listening to me now, that's essentially what I've said. I could fight this boss. I'm interested now. Let's try it. So, one swerve I'm going to make is, again, completely personal, but I might actually do a thing for this week. And we're going to see if I execute on it. It's a third game. But it'll be really, really short. I promise you that, and it will definitely be free. If I don't make this game free, I will be disappointed in myself. But if I were to follow my own advice of putting something out, because theoretically, literally, for this channel, or me speaking right now, as I'm known here, because I put out games under aliases before, but actually doing something here would be... It would be my first time, let's just say. But we're gonna brace here because 5 reason. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose about 6 reason, but at least we get out. That's a far cry from what would normally happen, and that's just straight up dying. But just to be safe, we're gonna do prep attack, because that does more damage than prep strong. But we pass every luck check. I completely forgot how much luck this character has, but it doesn't matter. Well, I think we'll be able to find out, but let's guess. So this character has Magic Caster and the Luck Pact or something. I forgot. But we have 43% Doom, and we still have not equipped the Crestfallen Mask yet. Let's actually find out if the game crashes when I put this on. Okay, that doesn't. But just making sure that graphics work. I could just go all out here. I don't know why I do this, but you know what? No. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Let's just take the guaranteed 2 stamina damage on our last mystery. That's pretty good, even on top of the 6 HP scaling, because on the last mystery, essentially every enemy has 6 plus HP on top of their base. Hooray! The modern actually... I mean, it can be hard, I understand at times. Is this free? Let's find out. Yeah, it is. It can be hard because, especially if you're, if you're updating your character a lot, if they're in a different language, even that much, if it's an event where mystery, you need to do every permutation just to see, not that I doubt, World of Forest case, you shouldn't really need to worry about that. It should just be a click and done in terms of testing, but if we're testing custom content out, that is already a lot. And I'll tie this into, as I nearly died a reason here. I might actually die. We have Mind Drain, so we're going to use Mind Drain. But as I tie this into game development, man, I essentially have never used beta testers. I will put something in that, and that's why I'm more not adverse. What's the word? Adverse is actually against. So what I want to say is, I'm more open to doing open access early access open betas, or just basically putting my game out there for free and just letting people play it and then getting feedback. That's not to say that, you know, I'm having players do the testing for me, but if you're a one-man indie dev, you do want to do your test cases, you want to go run use cases, test out your game to a exhaustive extent. But there are only so many. There's a permutation of events. Again, in World of Horror's case, it'd literally be picking events in a certain fashion. But again, in World of Horror, you don't really need to worry about that. But if for game dev, yes, it can make a difference, because sometimes you leave not stray code, but there are things that you do in certain, for RPG Maker specifically, in certain events. Events being things that can essentially, if you know programming, functions, but in a very lighter speak. I should have used Mind Drain here, I don't know, I'm too comfortable, but you will admit that modding this game can be annoying. Yeah, and part of that is that the developer, I mean, if this is the developer's first game, adding in mod support to your, well, let's even say that they've made less than 5 games, let's say that, because I think Pantstas did make a game before of sorts, but still new to mod support, and they did pretty good. All things considered, like, if we're to be real for a moment, well, if I'm to kind of speak more objectively, that's what I'm trying to say. If I were to speak more objectively, your second or third game coming out and it's a commercial success relative to at least 10,000 people bought your game for at least $10, that's I would consider that, you know, at least a moderate success. But on top of that, like, yeah, adding in mod support so that people can, you have more to your game than just the base, that I think that's pretty good. So to loop back to the comment, the modding being a bit janky at times is to be forgiven, but critically speak, if we're to speak more objectively and critically, yes, those things should be, those bugs and whatnot should be smoothed out. We shouldn't die here, by the way. So yeah. But as for game dev, yeah, it's a process. I'm swerving, so I'm gonna make something really, really light, and it's gonna be really, really free, and we'll see what happens. I'm basically doing a 1-week challenge, so starting tomorrow-ish after the Nuzlocke stream, I'm gonna try to hard focus, and if nothing else, it'll be a testament to how my current life schedule is. That way I can adjust it for things that may change in my life. That's another good part of this for myself to remember, but really for you, the viewer, to remember, it's that I'm actually, like, focusing on game dev more. So, because I'm getting close to, not close to completion, but close to solidifying and starting to put things in. Because when you start putting things in, you start, you know, for the way I do game dev as we move into success here, it's for me, it's a matter of, okay, once I make the groundwork, so I plan everything out. Things can change here and there, but for the most part, I'm usually in control. Speaking from experience, as we go into Zektas world, that really random World of War, anywho, character exclusive custom character, and then I do everything. So again, aside from little changes here and there, usually when I start making a game, the middle is I'll call it the redundant phase, when I'm just basically putting things in here and here. You wouldn't believe how many directories and documents I'm holding on to that is literally just the game on paper, and then I put it in. Now, obviously, there's a transitioning phase in terms of, can I do this in RPG Maker? No, and then I have to go back to my documentation and then, you know, manage it, because everything does not translate one-to-one, but you can usually do your best. I normally don't have that many issues with it. I've had a few bad issues, but as we see, Dexterity, second encounter, Takshi-san, second mission. I'm deciding whether or not I want to do Dexterity or Perception again. I think I'm just going to do Perception again. If I had the Exquisite Taste backstory, I might have done differently, but since we're on a World of War backstory, we're just going to do this. I forgot to use the library notes first, and away I go. We're gonna take experience, actually. If our luck is actually lower than even 5, theoretically speaking, I should just do a thing. Again, if I stop here and there to talk about things, most of the time I am just talking about what I'm talking about, but sometimes I also am thinking about the way to go, like Kana ward into nails, and then arms vigil or vigil arms. It's tough because in this specific instance, while I want to take these three first, that means I'm either visiting vigil fourth, and if I'm hurt, I don't want to do that. But if I am hurt, then I take arms, and then I'm stuck in vigil. So I could be hurt even more in arms as my fourth mystery, and then enter vigil on my fifth, and be in pain. But with Kana, hopefully that doesn't happen. Though we do want the hospital pass, and if nothing else, that's a reroll in shop so I can get the army knife. It's really good to have the hospital pass for that reason. But obviously just getting the hospital pass in general is pretty good. So we'll store these library notes for now. Since we have all the funds that we'll likely need in this run, we don't really need to sell anything. And I already have a low reason, so just to be safe, we'll buy like 5 packs of cigarettes. But you really shouldn't need more than 4, usually. You really wish you could get your mod for this game done faster. Yeah, same here. I don't know what the situation is like for you. I assume you have a good reason as we roll a 12 on Charisma. But for me, it's that, yeah, I have a lot of stuff I'm doing in life. So even right now, I've stopped making a custom character because I also want to focus on doing things for this channel. Again, I do want to make that... I did DID space want to make that another tips video for Harbinger specifically. But... as we roll... okay, so we have 10 luck and we have stars alright. That's not bad because that guarantees our luck checks. I'm talking about perks here for a moment, but... hey. We'll smoke another pack of cigarettes. You're making a character with 5 character-specific events. Oh yeah, and character-specific events, I do need to start working on character events again as well. It's just that the last time I did, I had problems with specifically version 1.02. And I want to make character events for 1.02. The one problem I'm running into, well, just already, is that aside from a bug, because you'll see me have I made a few posts about 1.02 character event bugs that I've experienced, but it's that if I update my character, I may, or because I usually want to give the player the choice to use events and whatnot, and while the very basic part of me just wants to say, well, Panstash should make it so that we can enable certain events on a character if we so choose, that would eat into dev time, so I don't want to do that. But if that doesn't happen, then I just have to include character events, because I usually like to balance my characters. So character events do change how hard or easy your character can be to play. So I wanted to essentially make character events and allow the player to add them in to usually make them more challenging, but at this point, if we don't get anything like that, I just have to make events so that they're balanced enough. So things like, if you have a character event in the village, just know that it's probably not going to be seen very much, unless you're specifically looking for it. But for me, as you've seen me play, I usually don't go off and look for things on my own, so hey. Sometimes the character is balanced, sometimes you start with 50 funds, yeah. And that's the thing too, like, right? But if your character just starts off strong, there's not really a lot you can do, unless you just add a death button in a character event. I keep saying button, that's because there's a very specific event that exists somewhere in the custom content events in the Discord channel that literally is, if you press the button, you die. But I think you lose like minus 99 stamina, but you get the point. It's a thing. Also, we're on Zictast, I forgot, but we don't need to worry anymore because Zictast has increased our strength. I'm shrugging in real life. But at the same time, again, I mean, yeah, that's... we joke about that, but then you can also add a character event that's just completely bad. Whether it's a button that does like 10 stamina damage, or an enemy that's like 40 HP does 3 all damage base, but you get the point. Character events can certainly change the balance of your character. That's all I'm trying to say. And so that's why when I make my own characters, I usually think about that. I would have liked to be able to include... so I think, if possible, I think what I actually want to do is add in, you know, this is not going to help most people who want to play a custom character because most people are using Workshop. I admit Steam does have its ease of access, but that's why you have to look at Roll of Horror itself to provide the choice. But like I said, we can't tick checks boxes to enable certain events right now, so what's included is what included. So my makeshift solution, what if I needed to increase my perception, by the way. My makeshift solution will probably be to upload character events to Discord and allow you to put that in for people who know how to put it in. Because at this point, my rationale, well, part of my rationale is that if you're willing to play with custom characters, then you're probably... I didn't use the PlayStation yet either, that makes me sad. Then you're probably invested enough to challenge... If you're invested enough to challenge yourself with a custom character, you're invested enough to manage the files yourself on your own system, whether that's Steam Deck, PC, Mac, Linux. Basically, again, I'll give you the character events and you can take them out whenever you don't want to challenge, put them in whenever you want to challenge. Same thing for my mysteries, but mysteries at least are handled in that you can enable them and disable them through Workshop. Without Workshop, though, I just have to upload them to the mods repository. And if anyone's mentioned it, I don't know yet. I swear to you, I don't know. Then don't remove the mod repository. If anyone asks to remove the remove the mods repository channel, don't do that, because it would be good to have another place. So, oops, I accidentally clicked out. I just wanted to read this comment. To be honest, you're focusing more on story than game balance for your character, but it shouldn't be anything that's instant death or instant win. But yeah, so, I mean, if it's that, ultimately, everyone is... I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, I want everyone to do it a certain way, but I understand. Like literally, whatever you think is fun, whatever immerses you, whatever you want the player to experience is up to you. That is your right as a modder. Barring, obviously, really, really weird things, like committing crimes through somehow, like adding a virus or malware through your custom character. But aside from that, and this is my reminder to at least check your files, check the files that people upload, whether they're my own. I won't feel bothered by it if you do so, because I understand completely. But if you feel like, yeah, usually I haven't seen anything that's too extreme. Even this is not extreme. A character that starts off with every stat at 10, I mean, Elster is kind of like that, but you get the point. It's not too far-fetched for World of Horror, because there are still lose situations. And if and when we get more events, whether base or custom, that punish you for failing, a character that has 99 in all stats, or 100 in all stats, is actually not what you want. Again, I keep making this example, but it's because effectively you can do it. There's the custom mystery called Auteur. You're basically filming a film, but if you succeed some of the checks in that mystery, you actually get hurt. So, I'm shrugging in real life again. So we need to throw this meat cleaver, otherwise we die. I could trade off reason, but we should be fine for the moment. And I should heal stamina here, but I think we're okay. You mostly fail stat checks except when succeeding punishes you. Yeah. Again, at base there is an event that punishes you for succeeding. It's talking to your friend in downtown, if I recall correctly. But I feel 99.9% sure. You chat with the old friend, and if you succeed, you lose reason, but again experience. But you lose reason. While if you fail, it gives you +1 reason. Obviously, if you get penalized, I think, then you get hurt still. But anywho. Yeah. So yeah, right after the stream, along with just taking I usually take a short break for about 30 minutes. You know, just if there's a stream that I want to watch, I go watch that stream as we get into Ward here. If not, you know, I just, again, like I said, I just rest, and then I go back to work. Either whether doing World of Horror recordings or otherwise. Game dev, writing here and there. I want to bring back a Batsu stream for next week. That's basically my preview for next week, but I don't know exactly what I want to do. It'll definitely be the two-parter in that case because of how I alternate the Nuzlocke. I also wanted to start doing streams again on Wednesday, but we'll have to see. As like task penalizes me here. But, again, we'll see. If anyone has any ideas, I'll at least try to put it in queue at worst. Or, sorry, I'll pocket veto it at worst as we get a Haspen enemy. We should be we should be fine here though. But yeah, I'll at least think about it. That's always what I say. But otherwise, I'm coming up with ideas on my own because that's most of my job as a content creator. Hey, as it turns out, a content creator needs to create content, so you need to have the creativity as we roll a talent strength to make content yourself. Yeah, that enemy is again. Haspen has if it's not made by them, then they have definitely gotten good artists to make work for and collaborate to make events and custom enemies. That being said, I think we can just run away. This is Reason or Doom. I'll take the experience for 2 extra Doom. It's only 13, but hey. That's a knowledge, right? Seal of Bramel. Yep, so we don't need that. I would like to double up on Perception. That would help out with Prep Strong. Unfortunately, we get this instead, so hey. I could just increase Perception through the thing, but the level up, deciding not to do that. As we get into Arms as our last mystery. So yeah, 32 cigarettes, we definitely have more than enough. But yeah, we should be relatively okay. Now, nice 11 roll on Perception, but we deal. Do some research, by the way. Never mind. I mean, I'm just gonna roll on events. This is a chill stream anyway, so you know what? Ow. But again, I think it's fun to roll on events here and there. There's not really a lot of harm in it. Until I lose a run. But if I have 30 plus funds, I will spend funds. All things considered, I should also visit the monument as well. Because if it asks for funds, I have all the funds in the world. Well, not all the funds in the world. I will run out, but I do want to make use of it. Because at the end of this run, it's not going to do anything for me. But yeah, while we have 4 Perception, we can still at least Prep Attack, Prep Strong. Which grants me a 2-turn instant counter. I need to check something for a moment, because I almost thought I did something. Okay, we're fine. I just did a thing, and I looked over, I was like, oops. Also, you know what? If this stream is a bit skippy and slow, then I'd like you to excuse me, because I forgot to do a thing. But hey. So, we are in Timeline B. What can we do? We can brace. Can we do a Prep Strong? Yes, it looks like it. Let's just make sure. And out we go. I'm going to take a sip of a drink here. Ah. Straws. But yes, this is your reminder to drink water as well. But yeah, I think we have some good work with custom content. I mean, I haven't, well, I know people have probably tried out custom content themselves with varying degrees of success. But from what I've seen, a lot of people have not tried custom content yet. So all I can do is shrug as I say, there's a lot of custom content out there. And it'll definitely shuffle up your gameplay. But let's just be sure we don't die here. I'm pretty sure I don't die. We have Takushi-san, but we're definitely going to run into Takushi-san before the thingy-majiggy. Before exact test affects us, and even if so, I can just increase Perception here if the game will let me level up. And yeah. So I have had characters that just outright, you know, have a good start but struggle due to stats. That's where Zektas comes in to swoop in and give you a harder run. But if that's not the case, usually you should be cruising, especially with a character that is, I would say this character is stronger than normal, yes. 50, if it's funds, it's not like 90 strength, but it could actually be better because, well, you get to buy anything you want. So you get to prepare for a weapon, so you don't have to use that Doom preparing for funds, or gambling on curses for funds, but you get the point. And then you can do anything you want with the funds you have after, whether you just want to save it to make sure... Because there are more than a few events that decrease funds, so having, I would say like 20 plus funds is usually more than enough. For me, it's not enough because I buy so many cigarettes, especially if random item stats randomizes my funds, but yeah. I mean, the hunting rifle and a load of ammo, well, hunting rifle, if you can make it work, I believe its stats are still terrible, unless we're talking about the sports rifle, but that's not purchasable in shops. You get the point, it's a thing. So moving on. I completely forgot every custom character, but we'll move on. Basically, having a lot of funds is a good start. If you have 20, 30 plus funds, 20 plus funds minimum, it's, for me, it's very good. And if you have like 5, even just 5 plus funds, you can definitely benefit. But There are more than a few funds events, that's why I say like 10, really, minimum. As we get to Ath World of Horde, character exclusive custom character. So we start with the Hospital Pass, and we start with, I forgot which one. Cauterize, I think, because Ath gave me one. I think they give you, yeah, the first spell that you get here is given by Ath, the other two are bonuses, if they are spells, so... As we have Light, Toxicon, Strength, Charisma, Knowledge, and maybe every single stat check. We'll humor the Knowledge with the Occult Shot, but I normally don't like to do that. But we'll see what happens. That being said, I can swerve here because this character starts off with the Hospital Pass. Pretty much a coin flip's chance in being useful, because you may have Ward and you may not. And if you don't have a single... Oh, I don't have vending machines. But if you don't have a single thing unlocked in the game, then you can't get Ward anyway, I think, right? So we are going to leave the occult, the hardware store shop enabled. But if we find something in the occult shop immediately, hopefully it works out. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to be very sad. But anywho. Sailors, Kana, Akamanto, Metamorphosis. Okay, so we just go left to right here, starting from Kana. That's what we get. So, as a contrast, a character who has no weapons and no funds to start out with, if you're going for a more consistent strat, you're usually doing something like this. The alternative, or the old meta, was to visit the tree twice, but since that's not a thing, and I forgot to visit the occult shop, I guess we're building strength. 3 strength isn't a lot, but the monkey wrench does well enough where you can get strength anyway. So, and then having low stats like, so 4 strength, 4 dexterity, 5 perception, 7 knowledge, 6 charisma is, I think that's fair. Let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me calculate. 13, 18, 22, 26, 32. So this character, I think this character has below average, but they have the Hospital Pass, which again, there's a coin flip's chance of being very helpful, assuming you have everything unlocked. Because that essentially, I mean, it can result from anywhere from 5 to 10 Doom minimum, if you have Ward. But assuming that you're gonna buy the Hospital Pass as well, it's probably more than that, so yeah. Considering how often you die to Doom, you tend to prefer the tree for funds until you get the Doom Raising curse. Yeah, so Branded, or, well, at this point, Survivor's Guilt as well. Survivor's Guilt is 2 Doom per End of Mystery, which, if that's at the very beginning, it's 10 Doom, so pain. But, yeah, the tree was often used for funds because... And I wouldn't say it's a bad idea still, but it's become worse, especially as curses have become more dangerous. It's a mix. It's 2 things mainly. It's that we got more curses that do worse things, and then curses now stack. So, or certain curses now stack, but that's RNG that plays less in your favor there. So that's why I've stopped using tree as much and use just, if I'm going to get branded, I might as well just take 2 Doom for 1 fund X amount of times. Because it's usually going to be, yeah, Branded is the guarantee, but Survivor's Guilt is really bad because usually, if you're doing tree for funds, you're doing it before your first mystery, or before you've completed every mystery, and therefore it's a guaranteed 10 Doom, because 2 Doom per mystery. 5 mysteries. But I understand why people do it as well. It's also a very safe pick if you're very, very scared of Doom, which I should be, but my main fright is Reason. So that's why I'd like to still spend Doom aside from that, because yeah, I get branded and Insomnia, and it's like, well, guess I die. Or I have a better chance of dying. A lot better chance of dying. I need to visit the police station as well, but hold on. Max Village, Max Forest, yeah. So we have that. We have Metamorphosis as well. I think we have a Forest Investigation in Metamorphosis, so I'm just gonna autopilot here for now. Even if we had Bulletin, it wouldn't really matter as much, because you have to visit the forest twice in Bulletin anyway. Yeah, Bulletin's a weird one, where it's the one where you have or pretty much a lot of Village tied with maybe either Flood or... No, I think just Flood. That you have to do mandatory anyway. And in Bulletin, you want to do the side quest, so that's already 2 forest investigations. On top of just visiting every location, but if we're talking about the number of locations visited in one mystery, Bulletin is... You can consider Bulletin a village mystery. It's just that you're also moving around Shiokawa everywhere. But, hey. So yeah, I'll take -2 all here. We have Kana with us. If we did not have Kana with us, I would consider gambling. But probably double attack into double... or something like that. I'd have to do something like that. But if nothing else, let's see what happens. 4 Doom for 4 Reason. It's not bad, but we're in Akamanto, so we need stamina. But yes, that's why I've shifted to using Prepare for funds. And Prepare was a relatively new option as well, so it's not like it came out of nowhere. 2 Doom for 1 fund isn't the worst thing in the world, but if you could get, like, just, say... How should I mention it? I think we lose 4... Tell me I lose 4 stamina. No, I don't? Alright, cool. Hold on, let me focus for a moment. I think we can just do this, yeah. Either way, we're bracing anyway, so that we can only take -1 all. But at least if I somehow mess up here, I shouldn't... Well, actually... Both Akamantos can deal double damage, but... we should be okay. So effectively, we're at 28% Doom on our 3rd mystery. That's very good. But let's move on. Second Sight, yeah, Second Sight. Second Sight's a pretty safe pick, especially since we're about to fight an Eldritch boss here. But a lot of bosses you can't do a lot of things about are usually Eldritch enemies for whatever reason. This Glitch Magician included, so 3-tapping this enemy for, well, we get bonus damage, but you get the point. 4 Doom here for however many experience is not bad for an encounter. Could be a lot worse. But as I keep failing Haspen's events, at least I'm finding out what events are horrible and which are not. But I do want to rest at some point because we are in a lot of pain. Cauterize, I mean, I can. In an odd way, 5 Doom to avoid... or possibly 4 or 5 Doom, to avoid certain events is a good thing, like this. But, we'll see. This is a very specific thing I'm going to try here, unless we get this. But we didn't get the Katana, so instead we're going to rest twice, even if we have Fetid Fumes, because boss. You should really take Second Sight more considering how many Eldritch enemies. Yes, it's a matter of a lot of bosses are Eldritch enemies, and I say they're the most problematic, mainly because, yes, while I don't use insta-kill spells myself, the fact that both insta-kill spells, Eldritch enemies are immune to both insta-kill spells, yeah. Also, pain, because I lost stamina there, but let's see if I survive. So, I can try. Funny enough, no, I don't want to throw the Crestfallen Mask. I do want to trade Reason for stamina so that I can have another turn to attack. But if we do something, if we get a turn like that, then I can just do this. Unless I miss this kick, but that shouldn't happen. Okay. But yeah, Second Sight is a very consistent pick. You can take something else like My Weird Collection if you're feeling lucky, because you could get like 2 Occult Diaries off of it. Now, is that better than 1+1 damage on ghosts and Eldritch enemies? Again, you have to ask yourself and do the math, but sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Most of the times it is, though. That's why I say Second Sight is a usually more consistent pick. Obviously, if you get Core Strength is better because it just adds to every single damage, except for ghosts, I think, but you get the point. So, do I just gamble here? No, I can't. Sadness. So we just swing for the fences here because we're going to lose -2 all anyway. Or we're going to be able to Desperate Struggle for 2 turns anyway. My question is, can we trade Reason? No. But we'll get out. So I'm actually going to heal stamina here as much as I would like. This character also has hospital perks because kind of makes sense. And I could use the Experimental Drug. We'll hold on to it for a moment. I'll also equip the Crestfallen Mask now. And away I go. Do some research, roll a 10 on knowledge, which is what this character has. I do need a rest before the end of this mystery, but as we run to the shower worm here, we should be able to one turn. Nope, we get close. I would need to brace. We have first aid, but stamina is what I'm worried about, so yeah. I'm doing a lot of 90 kicks. I have to, though. I can't do anything better. Before we Desperate Struggle, prep strong. I think I think custom enemies still obey the location lockout, but as we're sitting here, I might even need to take curses, but we'll find out in a hot moment. I'm actually going to take a curse. That's not the worst. One isn't so bad. It's another that's going to hurt me. But as we fail on that charisma check, yep, I think I'm just failing a bunch of checks here, and that makes me not happy. Yep. But not much I can do. Excuse me. But still, rather take reason than stamina. I have first aid, so I really should be focusing on that. Although my doom is rising quite high, but we'll get out of this mystery first and then see. Unless I'm stuck in a location. I forgot. That being said, I think we might even just need to run here. Failing checks in Harbor, what's new? Yeah, I have to run there. Even though I just talked about how I don't mind losing reason. Now, if I didn't know I had that boss, I would have fought that enemy. But I just wanted a safety net. Also, losing reason would not be the strong... I know I have the experimental drug, but still. Let's be a bit safe for a moment as we get rid of the black hair and the hospital pass. I should energy drink now. It's not like my dexterity is going to get to 8, and any help in events would help out. So, search the owner's office. Fail because luck, but you know what? What else is new? Just assume you fail everything. We do have 1 funds, but I lose 1 reason for that, so hey. I feel like that didn't used to do anything, and if it did, then, I mean, I wouldn't really put it past Haspen to nerf something or make changes before uploading all the events to 1.02. It would only require, like, tweaks here and there as we run to the Puppet Matron, but hey. I can defeat this encounter. I do need to get lucky. No, I don't. I am guaranteed... Nope, I'm not. So we need to roll an 80%. Good. We can get out. So... I did make a few mistakes here, I feel, but I don't remember what they would be. So, let's find out. We could get to 8 knowledge. We do have a knowledge check. I think I said we have every single stat check, but as we run from this Jouner Sponge here, literally mansion enemy right into seaside enemy, because, again, between locations there's no lockout. But as I refuse here and take stamina damage, we'll find out. Also, I might need to save a dog in a hot moment, so excuse me while I make sure, after this run, that everything is okay. But let me also make sure I have an AFK screen, because I don't know why I feel like I don't have one. We'll take Charisma just in case, because I should hit 8 Knowledge if I need to. We also do have Suicidal, so I want to watch out for that. Yeah, I do need to rest once. So... let's... or I could just heal stamina. No, I can't. Because increasing my knowledge to 8 would heal me more. Heal, quote-unquote, me more than healing stamina upright. So, let me just make absolutely sure I'm okay here. And I will need to, you know, save a dog in a moment. They're not in trouble, I'm just making sure that they're okay. But unless Takushi-san does something weird to me, I should survive here. Now, it would have been nice to have desperate action. We don't. So, we do the best of what we've got, and that includes this. I think I'm still okay here. I might still be okay. Yeah, we get bonus damage, so if we throw everything we have except for the Crestfallen Mask, we should be okay. And we don't have any Doom checks, so we should definitely be okay. If not, we're chilling, so... we didn't even have Ward either, I don't think, so it's... this character does have their ups and downs, but as I give you AFK for a moment, let me just make sure I have it, so that I'm not going crazy, but... yeah, let me just make sure. So, we'll be back in about... whatever this timer says. back to the screen. So, without further ado, let's get into the next Zektast run. Again, I was a bit nervous, not scared, but nervous because we have dogs plural. There has been a moment where our dogs at level set item stats are random, where there's a spot around where I'm living where our dogs can basically go into, and there has been a moment, as I get to Zektast Scars character exclusive random item custom character, where basically one of our dogs is the alpha among them, and obviously the human beings, me included, are the top of the pack, quote unquote, if we're to look at things in that way. But so one of them is an alpha, and if one of the other dogs is trapped in this location with that alpha sitting or lying there, they get really sad because they don't want to walk over this dog, and because they're, you know, it's their alpha. So I had to literally go out and save them one time. It wasn't anything serious. It's just that they weren't willing to walk over when it's usually fine, but it wasn't in this case. And so I just hear the dog whining, and I'm like, "Oh, what have you done?" And I just kind of jokingly yelled at the other one. I'm like, "What are you doing as the alpha? Why are you scaring them like that?" But anyway, as we have Takushi-san, light, knowledge, charisma, strength, and maybe a second encounter check. Yeah, we should be okay here. Let me just make sure. Do I want to build strength or knowledge again? I think I'm gonna actually try knowledge this time. But we'll still enable hardware shop in case we can go for a chainsaw, I guess. I don't know. But I guess to talk about dogs for a moment, there is I mean, if you've never raised a dog, I now see, as someone who has, you know, been around dogs long enough, because I have had dogs before this as well. As we have Sailors, Recluse, Festival, Ward, Nail. Wow, that's really ugly. Anywho, I've had dogs before, so I recognize when dogs are, you know, playing around, when they're actually angry, when they're sad, when they might be, you know, in distress, a lot more than is normal. And long before this, I didn't even know. When I thought a dog was barking, I like most people, I thought they were just angry as well. Really? No weapon? Okay, finally get one. But, anywho, you have a very stubborn Shiba Inu? Yeah, so I understand where the, not discrepancy, but the difference lies in people I understand why people are scared of dogs that come up and bark to them, but once you are around dogs more, you start seeing how, you know, if a dog is actually angry, or do they just want your attention? Are they happy? Are they trying to alert you of something? Things like that. But again, to the untrained eye, or untrained ear, eye, and you know, just experience, I understand why people are immediately can be, you know, wary of dogs that, you know, basically bark or approach them and whatnot. Our dogs are very friendly though. It's because I'm less of the disciplinary type. So while I do, you know, I do sometimes raise my voice. You do want signals to let your dog know they're doing something good or bad. But most of the time when I go around my dogs, they start leaping up in excitement and they expect me to pet them. I've kind of petted our dogs too much. Also, 3 damage Ritual Dagger, but we'll treat this as a fast weapon for the moment. Unfortunately, we're not a boss. We're in a ghost encounter, so it helps us a lot less. But which is making me really, really scared of Recluse, but we'll deal with it. Now, unfortunately, I also didn't visit the police station, but we'll deal with that as well. So, yeah, this is absolutely terrible. If the Ritual Dagger has usually like less than 70% chance to hit, I think, something like that. And it's not supposed to have that much damage, so that on top of Zektast is also hurting us, but it's a relatively fast Ritual Dagger. Unfortunately, we're not in a lot of positions to do prep attack. In fact, I'll die trying to do it. So even with Cauterize, I might still die trying to do it, but we'll go for as many guaranteed as possible. I really regret not bringing the handcuffs with me, but I think I had another. I thought I had another human thing. Also, I should have traded a reason for stamina. Forgot to do that. I don't want to because I want to do Recluse, but we might not have a choice because I don't know if I have enough time to get another weapon. So let's guarantee this. This is 9 damage. Plus or minus bonus damage, but 9 damage. And I think I need to level up and get Second Sight. That's the hope. If not, I need to get another weapon. That's unfortunate because I have to immediately go into either Ward or Festival, and neither are likely to give me a weapon. Because oddly enough, can you visit the pharmacy in Ward? I feel like you can. You can visit the dog shop and you can visit something else. I don't know why. I thought you could visit the pharmacy in Ward. But anywho. And by not the doctor's office, the pharmacy where you can buy a bone saw. But, I mean, at this point, the bone saw is probably going to be better. That's what I'm trying to say. But if we can get like a Ryoko here, that would be nice. That's okay, but we do have Zectas looking down our back, so we do need to increase dexterity and perception. Random curiosity question: Can you increase stats in events? I mean, officially, I wouldn't be surprised if you could just do it. You could code it in and it increases a stat anyway. I only mentioned that because I remember that one of the otherworldly events upon success can increase their knowledge. But if you can't, CAN apostrophe T, then so be it. Nice charisma check, by the way. 12 plus 2 modifier. Rolled a 12 plus a 2 modifier. We are not looking good for Recluse. And we're definitely not looking good for Recluse. So, we do need increased perception. Ooh, we also need to heal Reason. While we... I mean, I guess we die, but... Yeah. Yeah, through custom events, I would say it's not intended right now. At least from what I've remember and seen, but if you could just code it in and it happens anyway, I wouldn't... Like, basically, if you put in, say, either the abbreviation or the all caps, like, knowledge, and then positive, the win, whatever, the win reward equals A equals 1, but then the type is stat, like knowledge, charisma, I wouldn't doubt it, but if it's not possible, then just wondering. Also, not enough damage still. We will, but at what cost? I don't think we can even dodge during Recluse, so we're definitely in a pickle jar. Not even a pickle jar. So, while the Ritual Dagger gave us one reason, it's not going to be enough. So... And even if we could go for the Spiral Hood, maybe I think we get an okay amount of damage with... because the attack on Timeline B's boss here is dependent on strength and perception. Which we do have, but... Do I want to take this much Doom for it? All things considered, we have Recluse, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but... Doom-wise... Can you dodge this attack? I mean, you can't. You should be able to, right? Can I even do this, though? I can. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. I have to go for it. And if nothing else, I'm just curious to see if I can dodge this attack. So, I don't feel lucky anymore, so we'll just take 8 Doom and move on. So the reason I did that is so I don't take 12 Doom. That's a big jump. 8 Doom versus 12 Doom, I'd rather take the former, 8. So we get the Spiral Hood. Our perception drops, but either way, our dexterity is at 2 or our perception's at 2. And considering we can get flashbacks, we could also get hallucinations, but I would rather take flashbacks with 4 dexterity, or I'd rather take hallucinations twice than flashbacks once. I don't think I can take Recluse now. I have to, though, because if I don't, I could send Iwa at... I could also throw the Spiral Hood. Is that gonna be enough? It's not, but we have to find out, right? Do I have to find out? If I want to stall for items, I I probably should have just taken Sailors first. But if we're on Talent, it's bad either way. We'll take Ward now. At least we can rest, but I don't know if that's going to help me. Thankfully, we don't have a lot of roads closed shenanigans, but we do need a rest, so... And on top of that, we need to run from this boss as well. So we need to stay at above... I say... To have a chance, we need at least... Well, now we need, like, 9 reasons. So, what I just said, 9 reasons. I need 9 reasons to survive. And I need to pass checks to also survive, but... I know we're on Scars. It doesn't help, though, because we are still taking a bunch of damage from Recluse. And I say 9 because I can maybe trade Stamina, or do I have a spell? No, I can maybe trade Stamina. But I know I have about 3 or 4 turns for Recluse, depending on how things turn out. But if we die to Perception, we die to Perception. So... I don't remember Haspen's events, so if I take Reason as well... Pain... Well, yeah, we'll take the Strength. We will Hospital Pass. I think I actually... So it's unfortunate because I'm looking over at something and I just saw something. So I think I might have to... If I die during Recluse, I'll do one more run as this character. But I won't do the 3rd character because I don't want to rush anything. If anything, I'll make a video on it so that I have basically the freedom to record. But yeah, we have to run here because we won't survive otherwise. We do need to level up. Hopefully we'll level up in Flood, after Flood, or not Flood, Recluse. We don't have a lot of reason, but we need to take Recluse now. It's going to be too far away. Or the HP is going to rise too much. The extra 2 HP will make a difference. So we probably need to send Iwa. We also need to keep rolling well, but... Pain. I probably should have tried eating it, but at this point, we don't... I mean, we rolled 11s and maybe this is where the old gods of our life, our real life world, Earth, here, is telling me this is where I should stop the stream. Have I rolled? And I'm gonna read these letters. Oh, wow. Just die, I guess. But at least it's just Stamina. I think that was Stamina. We lose 1 reason. It's terrible. Well, it's a good thing that even whether I get the fleshy toy or stuffed toy, none of them actually heal reason. So we die, I guess. We can't dodge into it. Dodge is buffed, by the way. But yeah, die. Die still. Like there's... Aside from this, we'll toss Iwa at the roommate and see what happens. Give them Layeth the smack it down for 3 damage, and yeah. I'll throw the Spiral Hood as well. Like, I can't... 5 claps. Nope. Hell, well, there are 2 claps in there, so let's see if we would have gotten it right. We die anyway, but we can't dodge. We can't dodge. We can die, but we can't dodge. So I said if I die during Recluse... Technically, we'll do one more run. We'll do one more run. Speed run, but yeah, another task run, and that's the. I guess that if that within 24 hours, I'll do a video on this character. I promise. But yeah, that's random item stats really hurt me there. If our Ritual Dagger had done at least 4 damage, that run would have been very different. I promise you that. But as we get Cult this time, I'm just not going to use. I'm gonna actually build Strength. So, light, dexterity, strength, second knowledge, maybe, but says a lot when a lot of my runs that I succeed still, even though I may have only a 30% win rate on Harbinger, it says a lot when I build strength weapons on characters that have 4 strength or below, and it still turns out okay. So let's make this a good one. Vigil, Scissors, okay, well, oh, nope, Kana first, never mind. Well, we're doing the thing, so prepare, because I know I have Scissors, so... We have a short mystery. Even if we have Bulletin, doesn't matter. We are in random item stats, but this wooden bat is Terabad, so we're gonna sell it. And yeah, we have a bunch of items that we can do. I think the shovel's actually doing more damage, so you know what? This is exactly what I was looking for. If I didn't say it, this is what I was looking for this run. We're going to use a shovel here and see how well it does for me. But again, part of it was, well, one, this shovel is buffed. I think it's even, nope, it's slower, but I probably won't even be able to do prep strong, but the ritual dagger in the last run was also nerfed, so was that really just 2 stamina or 2 anywho? Haspen! Anywho, we will do a thing. We're gonna prepare for funds. We'll keep Kana with us, but we'll see what happens. We do a strong, no. We have to gamble for it, but I don't care. That's the potential. I think potential damage is a big. Well, we also get 7 damage here. More than this does more than prep attack on us. And even if this shovel were nerfed, right? It does more damage. Anywho, let's see if this baseball bat is doing more damage. Nope, it's also bad. So away I go. We have metamorphosis, right? We also have school and scissors. So I guess first we'll set the police patrols to the school. And then we'll switch, because I think we have... If we don't have metamorphosis, well, we'll see. We'll see. In any case, this shovel is preventing me from taking 0 funds, so... Avoiding out of funds or saving me on Doom, preparing for Doom, is pretty okay. In my opinion. But yeah, I think what I was trying to say before is that it's... potential damage, unless you have like 20-30% accuracy per attack, is usually more valuable for me than a lot of attacks at lower accuracy. And even then, in this case, let's assume the shovel even does 9 damage. With the fast weapon, you do 3 attacks for 9 damage anyway. It's just a matter of how many hits you're getting in. Again, don't let it be said that bonus damage doesn't help. It helps immensely when you're using fast weapons. But if for my consistency's sake, it's usually... We do have metamorphosis, by the way. It's usually more consistent for me to use big damage, and that's why Katana is so popular. By extension, Flamethrower is popular for the same reason, but Flamethrower, its main demerit or con, or negative, is that it is hard to acquire in a normal run, on average. So, yeah, that being said, I don't need this cursed scissors here if I'm so confident about the scissors. Although that does mean I need to remember the sigil, and I don't remember the sigil, even though I just looked at it. Waves or cup and ball square. And away I go. But yeah, it's a heck of a thing when I like doing this rather than this. So now that being said, 80%. If I miss, it's bad, but I can't miss twice, right? So if I get concussions here, so be it. As I said. And we'll move on. That will help out, but we're missing reason right now. We do have a lot of weapons to throw at the... As I peek out the mic, sorry for that. Weapons to throw at the scissor lady. As my max reason decreases, but my reason increases per encounter. And again, if nothing else, yes, I can't prep strong right now, but 7 damage per turn is not bad. We do need to do better, and maybe we won't get to do it, but regardless, I don't know why. It could just be me, but I feel a lot more comfortable right now than using the faster Ritual Dagger, but doing less damage. Again, that Ritual Dagger in the last one was essentially a fast weapon with a lot lower accuracy. I will call out when things happen there. I could also, if I kept the handcuffs, I could have arrested this guy. We do have a lump of flesh to kind of even things out, but we can also just desperate action next turn, so we'll do this. If this lump of flesh gives me something bad, so be it. That's not great. But we do have a hunting rifle to throw at the scissor lady. So we shouldn't be in a lot of trouble. Because if nothing else, yeah, all of this being thrown at the scissor lady, she's just gonna fall under a hail of stuff. Now, I will gamble on a 74%. And away we go. There's a very low chance of missing twice. Again, usually when I take a risk like 74 or 85, usually I'm thinking about, okay, I might miss, but so I don't mind taking damage immediately. Also, we're on Zik Tast. I forgot. So we need one more point of dexterity. If it comes from quick thinking, that would be nice, because I want to build into this shovel. But we'll see as we take Metamorphosis. Our strength is going to get nerfed soon unless I visit the monument, but I want to hold off on that for a moment. Never mind, I'm going in now. Sure, ask for funds or reason, please. No, die, me. But yeah, let's switch this to the seaside. I'm gonna visit the history club just to okay, yeah, Mind Drain. We do have Cauterize, but Mind Drain will help out a lot more. So if we succeed this one, it's because of Mind Drain. It's not because of the character. Unfortunate as it is to say. Even here, like, I'm gonna Mind Drain twice. I'm probably gonna Mind Drain the boss twice too, but hey. That being said, I shouldn't have Mind Drained twice. I could have Mind Drained once and then taken damage. But a bit late for that now, isn't it, Jordan? As we lose more reason. But we'll stick with it. We have Cauterize, but we want to save that for the moment. Might as well wait. Nothing terrible is going to happen as we fight the Bloodworms. I think this is one of the easier encounters in Haspen's mod pack, and you do need easy encounters, but 93%. It's quite tanky though. This is boss levels of HP, considering that its HP is only increased by 2, I think, so far. So, yeah. That being said, I could die here, so let's actually do Desperate. I couldn't Desperate action last turn because we didn't do enough damage. But now we do. I am still going to Mind Drain this boss when we run into it, but don't let it be said I didn't try my best. So, passing the Ignore It check would give me experience. We wouldn't have leveled up though, so I don't care. But first and foremost, swing for the fences. Can we swing for the fences? No. So we get our 14 damage here, unless something weird happens because Meat Horror. And then we do this, and I guess we do Gamble on an 80%. Holes has quote-unquote killed me here, but as long as we don't lose Beth, we're fine. I did see roads closed, by the way. I did not like seeing that, but Coma into Vigil. Alright, well, I guess we're doing Vigil now, and give me quick thinking. Nope. We can wait. We can wait, so we'll heal stamina now in the interest of trying to survive. Because I have no... Yeah, so, like, if I just fail knowledge checks, or just fail checks, I would have died there. Are we still going to die is the question that I'm asking myself. Let's find out. Claps sandwiched by bows. And away we go. So, that's stamina, I think, if you fail, but we can't spend the Doom right now. So, well, we could have spent the Doom. We got the Long Pig Steak, so that's great for stamina healing. We also got Strength. That's good for my shovel, but I'm also scared about my Dexterity right now. So, let's hope we survive. As I move on. Please tell me I've been doing the Vigil, by the way. I feel like I have. I don't remember which is which. Okay, good. I will feed the plant. I shouldn't die to any weird stamina loss, aside from holes, but that's a whole different problem. And can I do this? No. So, either way, it doesn't matter. We're out in 2 turns anyway. We still can't do Prep Strong, but hey, so be it. So away we go! Well, maybe I could have used the Meat Cleaver, but in any case. So while we have the funds, we'll use the funds, and... 68% Doom. As long as we don't lose Bath, we're fine. And we should still be fine. Unless we hit 84% Doom during Coma. Which can happen. But we'll see about that. I should have visited the tree, actually. I had the thing. What am I doing? Long pig steak time. But that was a me mistake. Nonetheless, I still need to witch tree. But I can at least react to stamina loss. I mean, I have 1 dexterity, but can I roll a 4, 5, or a not? I won't even be that. Can I roll a 5, 6, or a 7? That's all I'm asking for. The answer is yes, and I will still fail it because Zectast. If I weren't under the effect of Zectast, I would have passed that check. But I guess the game likes to choose me wrong. Prove me wrong. Yeah, it's rolling 6s now. Thanks, game. Thanks. We'll take the experience because we do need... Quick thinking would be nice here. Unfortunately, we don't get it, so the alternative is to increase our dexterity. And we're gonna hope that we can rest at the lighthouse. Otherwise, we mind drain here until we get close to one-shotting. Now, maybe we had an extra point of damage from bonus damage, but... Well, I can't even do this, so... We throw the meat cleaver, I guess. And we get out. We do get extra funds, but Nicotine Rush would have allowed me to do Prep Strong a lot, but while we're here, wow, really? I guess I guess we do our best. I think we get like 5 damage, right? Yeah, we do. So the one saving also, yeah, fast weapons suffer a lot more under ghost encounters because ghost encounters. Thankfully, we kept Bath the whole run. I don't know if I survived still, but we're gonna find out. Because I have 8 in no stat, so I'm taking 6 damage, 6 stamina damage, possibly 10 Doom, and definitely 3 Reason. So we should be okay here for the moment. I should be okay. So we're effectively at 88% Doom, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we succeed the second mystery check, even though if we never... yeah. No, we do this. Because we can do this. And we move on. We don't have suicidal or anything, right? Kind of. We don't have paranoia or suicidal. Those are both the ones that I know that can proc something. So, hey. And then these are doom checks, which I should be perfectly fine in. Scissors? Yeah. I forgot. Did I fight anything in Eels? I feel like I fought... So, yeah, I fought the apartment stalker first. And then I fought whoever was in Scissors. Which was this? Yeah. Hey! As much as I complained... Hey, as long as you are a human being who can at least remember your second encounter, because usually you remember the second mystery, everything's fine. But yeah, without further ado, if you have to go, I'd like to thank you for watching if you want to support me in any way. Otherwise, we'll close out this stream for a minute by announcing basically what's happening for tomorrow and moving into next week just to kind of lay things out. So, I'm doing a 1-week game. I don't know if I'm going to complete it or not, but I'll definitely be putting something out on itch.io. There should be a link to my itch.io through my channel somewhere on the top banner or something. If not, I'll link it in a description to the appropriate video. Otherwise, tomorrow's a Nuzlocke stream. If I do anything after, I do anything after. Event of the day should be coming out today. If not, I will let you know. And then the video for the third character I was planning to do the stream will come out either today or tomorrow. Or in the next 24 hours. Again, it could be nighttime for you right now. So, Sunday could be a few hours from now for some of you. And for the rest, who of us on the other side of the world, maybe it is Sunday. But you get the point. Basically, Nuzlocke tomorrow, and the rest of the week, still Harbinger Horror, still a lot of stuff, but I'll talk about that more come the stream tomorrow. But if I don't stream tomorrow for whatever reason, I'll let you know. That's why I'm saying things here right now. So, yeah, without further ado, I'd like to thank you for watching. Anyone watching now or in the future, yeah, same thing. But I wanted to go on for longer. Usually I do, but yeah, again, right now I'm really busy doing a thing, and I will be doing more things. So, yeah, without further ado, I won't take up more of your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!